All right, boys. Let's get into it. Every single Tuesday here on the show, we talk about the various people and entities who get it and who don't. And we're going to start with Judd Zulgad here. Who gets it or who doesn't? Let's go around the room a couple of times here. We'll also get to random season recall. Declan's got, sounds like a potential stumper up his sleeve here.
A Judd special.
Oh, boy.
It's a Judd special. Phil might just honestly have to leave the room. We're really going to test out
Judd left the room last week.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's why we're doing
I stuck around for it.
Yep. It's your
What did we
show.
do
I
last
just knew
week?
Phil.
Yeah.
The
We did
Wolves.
the Wolves, like
The 02-03 Wolves.
Yeah.
And at one point, Judd's only contribution was something like, didn't Kevin Garnett play for that team?
Yeah.
I did not say that, but I had nothing to give. And I went to those games, and I still had nothing to give. You know why? Because I purged it from my brain. I have purged Wolves history from my poor brain. All right, who gets it? Come on down, Tampa Bay Lightning.
Hey-o.
The Tampa Bay Lightning, who won Game 1 of their Stanley Cup Finals last night against the Montreal Canadiens, boys, are in their third final in 7 years, and they're going for back-to-back titles. Do you know what we call that? We call that the state of hockey. That's right. Florida is the state of hockey. Wow. Let me give you the parallel up here in what we coined, because the team called it this, the state of hockey, okay? 46 years of combined National Hockey League, 26 from the North Stars, and the Wild just completed their 20th season. So 46 years. Stanley Cup Finals combined, 46 years, 2. The North Stars went in 81 and 91. In other words, in the last 7 years, the Tampa Bay Lightning have been to one more Stanley Cup Final than the combined Minnesota teams have, and they are going for a second consecutive title. That is who gets it, the Lightning.
Okay, so tell me because I know you're sitting there, you're probably taking notes on behalf of the Minnesota Wild. What can the Minnesota Wild learn from the Tampa Bay Lightning, but both teams here with Montreal included that are, if you're sitting there taking notes?
Yeah, Montreal's more of a pop-up.
Yeah.
So they feel to me a lot like the 91 North Stars. So I don't think that there's a lot that can be learned from them. They just got on a roll and have gotten hot. It's a fun story. But what can be learned from Tampa Bay, I mean, as Dex will tell you, it is multiple things. They are so well built, and they have star power, and they have centers, and they have a bigger defensive core. I think the most important thing that can be taken, though, is this. I believe it was, Dex, was it 2 or 3 years back? That it was 3 years back now that they were a really good team in the regular season.
Yeah.
And then they were bounced by Columbus. I think they were swept out of the playoffs.
Yeah, they won the President's Trophy.
Yep. And then, do you know what they said? We ain't big enough for the playoffs. And they got tougher and bigger. And they didn't get rid of their stars. They did not. But what they did was they supplemented their team with big guys who are good in the playoffs. That doesn't mean that they fight. It does mean that they toughened themselves up a lot. The other thing, and the genius here, and this is the one, I mean, I love it. Everyone's like, well, this is not fair. Well, you know what? It's not fair, but it's genius. The Lightning long-term IR'd Kucherov, who's one of, if not their best player, for the entire season. And they did the same thing to Stamkos and made a trade. When the playoffs hit, and this is a stupid loophole, but it's my sport, so it's not going to surprise you, Phil. When the playoffs hit, the salary cap out the window, doesn't count. You don't have to comply. So they could put everybody back in and play them all. So when the playoffs began,
it makes no sense.
When the playoffs begin, the salary cap gets taken out. So there's no
wait a
salary
second.
cap.
So you're saying that a player on the injured list or that's on
doesn't count.
IR for the season,
the long-term IR doesn't count.
And long-term IR being how long? Like, what's the difference?
I think you have to miss a minimum of something like 3 weeks or something like that. But anyway, Kucherov didn't play.
So if you put a player on long-term IR, you get cap relief in the middle of the season?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Yep.
You get
Parisi.
cap relief.
Parisi gave, when the Wild did that now 4 years back.
Yeah.
They got.
Sounds right.
They could then bring in guys and exceed the cap because Zach couldn't play. But what's crazy about this is when the playoffs begin, the cap is gone.
So
There's
you
no
could
cap
essentially,
anymore.
there's usually like a 2-month gap between the trade deadline and when the playoffs start, if I'm not mistaken. So you could just put a veteran player, and maybe he's injured and banged up, but maybe he's not going to miss 2 months. But you could say, why don't you take a little 2-month vacation?
Yes.
Start ramping yourself up with 3 or 4 weeks to go.
Yes.
We're going to make a trade to bring in some help while we have salary cap relief and then bring you back for the playoffs. You could do it that way if you wanted to.
Yes. That's exactly right. It makes no sense. It's incredibly stupid, but good for Tampa Bay. Everybody's bitching and moaning about this. It's like, yeah, but you know what? It's a loophole. They used it.
Dex, since we're on the subject, what is your number one thing the Wild can learn from the Tampa Bay Lightning here?
Scoring depth. I know what Judd's saying in that they've always had top-end scoring, and then they looked at their blueprint a few years ago and they got bounced and said, well, we need size and we need defense. We can't just score a bajillion goals and expect to go on another run of the Stanley Cup. So they did change up how they played their game a little bit, and it works out for them. But for the Wild side, they need more scoring depth. Kaprizov was shut down the entire postseason. Fiala, I thought, had numerous chances, but at the end of the day, he didn't cash in many. Those are your only 2 dudes that were scoring goals. Joel Eriksson Ek scores dirty, greasy goals, but at the same time, you need literally good top-end talent, top to bottom, and the Wild don't have that right now. So I would say it's more scoring because the Wild have the defense. The size, I don't know.
They need another big guy.
They could use one more guy, but I'm not gonna.
That's a big deal.
That's not gonna put me though. If they don't get one more big body, I'm not gonna say, oh, that's the reason they can't get to the Stanley Cup. That to me, that is so far down the totem pole of what you need to get to the Stanley Cup. Size is a weird thing in hockey where sometimes it does matter and sometimes size does not matter. And I am just talking about hockey right now. So it ebbs and flows with how it wants to go there. So I think it's more natural skill top to bottom in your lines.
I like it. I'm looking forward to. I want this series to go 7 games. I think we've only had. So a couple of years ago, if I'm not mistaken, the Blues won it in 7 games. But I don't know that we've had many 7-game Stanley Cup series lately. I feel like it's been a while since we've before that Blues one. So give me 7 games. I want to see some white knuckles in a game.
You Kraken fan, you.
That's right.
Great name.
I'm here for the Kraken. Here for the Kraken. All right. Who gets it? Who doesn't? I'm going to tell you who gets it. All right. I've done a 180 on this. Okay. Major League Baseball gets it.
What?
If you're going to commit all in. Last Monday, a week and a half ago, or 8 days ago, Major League Baseball said, guys, I know this is going to be weird. It's going to potentially cause some negative PR, but we're going to check every inch of a pitcher's glove, belt, hand. We're looking for substances on the hat, and we're not fooling around here, okay? We are committed to this. So much so that last night, we had 2 position players who pitched in blowout games, including a Reds pitcher in a 12-4 Nick Matton, I guess it is.
Sure.
He struck out the only batter he faced in the 8th inning of a 12-4 loss to the Reds, Philly's second baseman, and got searched for substances by the home plate umpire on his walk back to the dugout. Major League Baseball completely gets it. If you're going to commit all in, even if it's a second baseman lobbing underhanded to the opposing team. I'm here for it.
So Ostadia now would be checked.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Absolutely. Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
I mean, this dude comes walking out the field.
Yes.
Although it is a little bit suspicious. You bring in a random second baseman, position player guy, and he strikes out the only batter he faces? I don't know.
10 games.
I don't know.
10-game suspension or 10-day, whichever one it is.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yax?
All right, I'll go with baseball one too. I'll start with actually a positive sign on the local 9. I'll go with Trevor Larnach. You know who gets it? Trevor Larnach. I think Larnach has really blossomed into his own here over his last 24 games, slashing .281, .381, .461. That's an .842 OPS. 4 bombs. He's drawing walks. He's hitting RBIs. This might be actually one of the few first-round picks they've had that's showing up immediately and contributing. You know, when we talk about Royce Lewis and Alex Kirilloff, Trevor Larnach is actually the one who's showing up and really steadily producing. Has probably been one of the lone bright spots on this Twins season, who are still 11 games back of the division lead and still in the basement
There's
of
still
the
a
AL
chance.
Central.
There's still a chance. Let's not dismiss it.
Apparently, if you win 11
Dude,
games
they're
in a row,
third place. They're in third place in the division.
Let's not dismiss it, okay?
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, great. I'm
Here come
so
the
happy
Twins.
for you. Yeah,
They
look
just
out, look
leapfrogged
out,
2
world.
teams, and you guys are sitting here writing the season off.
Oh, no. Are you kidding? Not me.
Listen,
When is
I
it?
think if they sweep the White Sox, if they play, I don't know. I heard there might be drizzles again today. Might have to call off the whole series.
It might be raining and monsooning in Chicago for like the next 6 days, apparently. So you might have to play in some rain.
But
Sorry,
did it not?
boys.
It didn't rain last night enough. Didn't we get get another
No,
sort
it was
of.
fine. It was fine. I don't understand the weather people
So
at
did
MLB.
it start raining there or not? I thought it did eventually.
I didn't rain
looked
enough
on
to
my
rain out the
phone.
game.
Yeah.
This is the second
And
time in 3 days,
This
right?
is the one time I'm glad Rami Makloff is not on this show. Because he would be having a field day with us right now with the idea
he's
of
still not
getting in
right.
baseball. He's still not right. Look,
He's
I
still
love
not
Terminal
right.
2 at MSP. I'm not watching a baseball game there. No, like a live baseball
Yeah,
game.
no.
I like watching baseball
Airport,
game on the
it's a
TV
hangar.
and with my $15 beer, but I don't at the same time I don't like
I'm with you.
watching it. But yeah, Trevor Larnach gets it. I think Trevor Larnach absolutely gets it.
Who doesn't get it? Should we switch?
Yeah.
Do whatever you
All
want.
right.
Yeah, it's your
Yeah,
show.
their show.
All right, here's who doesn't get it. Well, I was just saying. I mean, if you guys could,
No, you can just-
want to continue
just to
on
set the
theme
ground
of
rules
who
for this
gets
segment.
It,
You
who
can do-
doesn't get it? We
you
got
can do-
both of them.
You can do 5 who gets it if you're in a positive mood. It's totally
Oh.
up to you.
Bleep that. Okay, who doesn't get it? I got to go here because this involves
I gotta go.
all of the
Bye-bye.
old school Wild players. So there's an article in The Athletic that you could find right now on Eric Staal, who was traded from the Wild to Buffalo, was terrible in Buffalo, got traded to Montreal, and is now in the finals. And the author talked to everybody basically but Staal about his season, about how things, and so he essentially talked to the entire Staal family, including Staal's wife, who I want to be very clear to start with here. I'm sure is a very nice person.
Are you about
But
to? Oh my god.
she
Here we go.
is quoted as saying, and she's speaking for her husband, okay,
Oh my god. Jeff.
that he was taken aback and shocked to be traded by the Wild. Shocked to be traded by the Wild. Now, I knew he was going to be traded. Stella told me before I said it, he's going to be traded. Everybody knew that Bill Guerin was going to trade this guy. And if he was truly shocked, this is really indicative of the old Wild way of being like, well, of course I'm not going to be traded. I've made a home here. And the family stayed here, and that's great. They're in Edina. I think it's fantastic. I'm sure their house is fantastic too. And it's great that they love the Twin Cities and Edina. But if you didn't understand that you were going to be traded, you simply don't get it. And this is why they needed to peel apart that locker room.
Are you calling out his family and his wife or him? Like who
No, I'm
specifically
calling him,
doesn't get it?
No, I'm calling out him because she was speaking for him. She was talking about what he had said. When he got traded, he
You
was
coward.
shocked, she
Go-
said.
I know you
No,
want to go
it's
the
not-
next
she didn't-
step.
No, I don't. No, I have not. No, I don't know her at all. And she was speaking for him. And look, I'm sure the family's great. I have no interest in ripping his family. But how could he not know he was going to be traded?
You
Like,
did
how
get
could
it.
that
Didn't-
surprise him?
Didn't Carly Zucker block you on Twitter for taking shots at the Zucker
Yes.
family at one point?
And
I
then
never
she-
took shots at the Zucker.
And then she
Well, I sorta
unblocked
did.
him to send a tweet back.
Yes.
And then she might have blocked him.
Yep, she reblocked me.
Again.
She
so,
sent
so
me.
wait, so she unblocked you. Somebody must have notified her about your derogative tweet.
Well, she got very upset when when Jason came out a couple of years ago after they lost an early season game in Montreal, and they were like, "What, Dex?
This was
6-1."
He called out Bruce.
and Jason Zucker said everybody needs to do a better job, including Bruce. And I'm like, what are
that's
you
right.
doing? You can't call the head coach out.
You two went on a great opening segment on Mackey and Judd.
Yeah.
Ripping them. And we got ripped by bloggers for saying, it's not that big of a deal. It's not
Yeah.
that big of a deal. Even
And-
Puck Daddy ran with this. You guys ran with this. It was a whole thing.
And she then unblocked me on Twitter to try and flame me about what I had said. And it was a very bizarre thing. But anyway, just to be clear, Mrs. Staal, I'm not calling you out. But if your husband didn't expect to be traded, your husband's delusional. He was going
Okay.
to be traded.
what is in terms of the show collectively? How many wives or spouses of players have we been blocked by or have gotten in fights with on Twitter? Because Sam Ponder has
Sam
blocked
Ponder for
me.
you.
So Carly Zucker for Judd.
Yeah.
And I would guess
Not-
if the Staal family catches wind of this portion
This.
of Mackey and Judd here,
But
today,
I said they
then
can stay
they're
here.
all blocking you as well.
I didn't kick them out. They can stay in Edina all they want till their heart's content. They're just not going to be on the Wild. Like
Yeah,
I'm,
I think Dex
I'm
is
good.
he's still good.
yeah,
I'm
but
good.
Declan's 27.
8.
Plenty of time.
And
to be
believe me,
blocked.
there's plenty of women who are blocking Dex. They just aren't in the sports world.
All right.
And maybe
Who
throw
gets
them
it?
up. I'm
Who
gonna
gets it?
comment.
Who doesn't? I'll tell you who gets it. The Minnesota State Fair. Boys, the new food item list has come out today. And I'm going to draw your attention to a couple things in particular. All right. Let's talk about the sashimi tuna tacos
Okay.
over at the New Scenic Cafe. Scenic 61 by New Scenic Cafe. Crisp wonton. Hold on a second. Actually, why don't you fade that music real quick here, Dex? I'll give you
Sure.
some
I know
better.
what
Yep,
you're
I know
going to
what
do.
you're
I know
doing.
what you're going
I know
with.
what you're doing.
I know what you're going with.
Go ahead.
There we go. That's right. Sashimi tuna tacos, crisp wonton shells filled with ahi tuna, avocado, and sesame soy. Thai slaw with peanut dressing, pickled ginger, and wasabi served on the side. How about the Pizza Lucy? Thanks to our friends at the Green Mill, located on the east side of Cooper Street between Randall and Wright Avenues. Sausage patty topped with pizza sauce, pepperoni, and mozzarella cheese stuffed in homemade Green Mill pizza dough and topped with Italian seasonings, cheese, and crumbled pepperoni. Yes. That's right.
Okay, that sounds outstanding, but I mean, your blood would almost certainly stop flowing right after a piece of that, wouldn't it?
Well, don't forget about the s'mores funnel cake over at Funnel Cakes, located in the food
Funnel
building,
Cakes. Like
East
funnel
Wall.
cake.
Graham cracker funnel cake topped with marshmallow milk chocolate chunks and
Okay, I'm
more graham cracker bits.
I'm out. I'm out on that. Too many sweets, especially in the
I like
state fair.
I like
think
salt.
I'd throw
Yeah,
up.
I like more salty and more
Yeah.
the beer garden is kind of where I like to be
Yeah, I
at,
couldn't see
at the
that.
Minnesota State Fair.
Well,
That's
then
kinda my
maybe
jam.
you
with
would
you
like
on that.
the naughty biscuit, smoked pork belly topped with beer cheese sauce, arugula,
Saturday
pickled
night.
red onions, and candied jalapenos served on a buttermilk
No.
biscuit.
Yeah, man.
Now, candy
in.
jalapenos? No, I'm
Come
out.
on.
USOB.
Oh my
I'm in.
no.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
that sounds. Oh my god, my stomach. That sounds like problems.
Dude, I am sorry. I love my wife, but the naughty biscuit, I might have to cheat. Oh my god.
Oh, no, I don't think I can do the naughty biscuit.
I'm just telling you, the Minnesota State Fair, after all these years, still slinging the amazing new foods. Minnesota State Fair gets it. For sure.
Did you?
Love that.
Oh yeah, it does. They do get it. They do get it.
To me,
Yeah, go.
I mean, I'm going with who doesn't get it, and I'm also going off the cusp in the sports world. And Phil, I'm sorry if I'm spoiling for you, but did you watch The Bachelorette last night?
All right, I'm a week behind. I watched last week's episode. But I mean,
Yeah, 'cause
okay.
the hockey game was on last night.
Yeah, and I caught the third period. It's great. I was
Do you
able
want me to
watch
take
the
my
third
headphones
period.
off for a minute? Or
Got 3 periods.
You might have to. You
yeah,
might
but
have
then,
to.
but I don't care.
Tom-
so
but
it's
he's
gonna
not
really.
gonna. I'm gonna voice it anyway because I know the audience wants to hear this. I just really
Oh, go right
quickly.
ahead.
I'll go quickly. Thomas does not get it. Thomas 100% does not get it. It's actually who gets it and who does not get it all in one. Thomas is an absolute fool. He manipulated Katie. All the dudes hated him. They called him out, and Katie sent his ass home in one of the most greatest rose ceremonies the Bachelorette
One of
has
the greatest
ever
scripted rose
happened.
ceremonies ever.
It was one of the best rose ceremonies I've ever seen. Katie absolutely gets it. And Katie, if you're listening to Score North, please slide into my DMs. And Thomas, I am sorry. You are out, dude. You're completely out. You do not get it. And I don't feel bad for you. No one in that house feels bad for you. No one in America feels bad for you right now. You do not understand how this works. Goodbye. Bye, Felicia. You're good now, Phil. You can put him back on. You're good
Oh,
now.
I can put them back on.
Yep, you're good.
Put the
back.
headphones
You can
back
You
on.
can get back on. Judd does not care. I just had to.
You might as well have
I
been
just had to
speaking
voice,
in
and I did.
French.
It was therapeutic for me to get that out. I'm really excited for Phil to catch up.
Yeah.
But yes, it was. Oh, it was one hell of an episode. One hell of an episode. And
Oh,
man,
you look
do I
very
love Katie.
animated there too. I'm going to be very.
I think that's as
excited
passionate as he's
to
been
catch up at some point.
maybe ever.
God,
He's
I love
very
Katie.
passionate.
Katie is great.
All right,
Big Katie guy.
who gets it? Dylan Bundy. Because when you gotta puke, you gotta puke.
Yes, dude.
The fact that he
Yes,
went
dude.
behind the mound, I've seen some guys try and get off the field and hold it, or like trying to. Dylan Bundy at Yankee Stadium, pitcher for the Angels last night, going behind the mound and unleashing with whatever his lunch was. I don't know. I don't care. He gets it. That's, you know what? Good for you, man. You had to throw up. You threw up right in front of God, Babe Ruth, and everybody. You get it.
The look on the batter's face, I can't remember who is batting, but the batter's looking out at the mound and just like does a woof and then just starts walking back to the dugout knowing, all right, this is going to be a while. So what, do we
Durant-
know what it was? Was it food poisoning? Or
I
was
have not seen. But
I think
mean,
it was heat. I
yeah,
think it was heat.
It was probably just hot.
Super hot. It was
Yeah, it was
super
probably
hot.
like you guys. There's probably
Well,
just
I don't throw up from the heat. I throw up from my copious amount of drinking. I want that to be known very clear.
But if you were to partake in an athletic endeavor like pitching in extreme heat, you
yeah, I
might throw
probably
up.
would. Yeah, I mean, my athletic endeavors
Like, you don't exactly
really
go outside
speak for themselves really well. Yeah, exactly.
when it's this
You know,
hot.
I would do that just to intimidate the opposing team, just so
Yeah.
they know, like, listen,
on
I'm
the
not
mound
messing
then,
around here.
right? Like, look in for the sign, take your hand and glove away, and just hurl.
And you don't even take your
And
foot
then
off the
throw the
rubber.
pitch.
Yeah, you
And
just
then
you
throw the
just-
pitch.
You wipe your
Bomb
chin
ball.
with your
Just a-
forearm.
just a
Actually,
bomb
you know
ball.
what? That's a great question. What
That's
would
the
happen?
substance right there.
What
Yeah.
would happen if you threw up, it hit the baseball, and you got some extra something on the baseball?
10-game suspension.
Is that
10-game
suspension?
Yeah.
If it comes from
100%.
within?
Well, yeah, you can't spit on a baseball. You certainly
Yeah,
can't throw up on a baseball. All right,
Okay.
that's who gets it and who doesn't here on Mackey
Dylan
and Judd.
Bundy.
That's right, where we distribute praise and blame equally. And coming up here, random season recall presented by our friends at Dennis Kirk and DennisKirk.com. It's riding season. All right, so if you want to get out, whether it's a motorcycle, sport bike, whatever it is that you ride, if you just like feeling the wind of the road going through your hair, Judd Zolgad.
Oh,
That's right.
Think about the wind blowing through this hair. Oh, yeah.
Look out, ladies. Whatever you ride, 160,000
No, literally, look out.
parts and accessories in stock, clothing and helmets as well. If you order by 8 p.m., they ship the same day, and shipping is free for orders over $89. When the open road calls, head to DennisKirk.com. They ship today. All right. Every week, Declan goes into the archives.
Dang it! I forgot to cut a bed. I meant to get the. I was gonna get a bed. The Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Remember the dramatic like do 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 when they were doing the.
Yeah.
I meant to cut that for this because
I like
You told me you were going to cut it yesterday.
I have it cut. I just didn't load it in Zeta because I'm a great producer.
It's okay. That's okay. It's the thought
anyway,
that counts with
Yep.
production.
Really, it's okay?
Thought that counts.
Really
Ooh,
think
thought
that's
about
okay?
grabbing you a key audio piece for that segment to make
Yeah.
it pop. But
AJ, what are you doing here? Oh, weird.
I like how
the
he-
succession plan. Kellen Mond's knocking on the door right now.
Yep.
This is the weirdest damn thing.
Kellen Mond and Jake Browning.
Yeah.
We're ill prepared to replace you.
All right, this is a Judd Zolgadian special. Phil, go grab some popcorn. Get another seltzer if you want. I know it's only like 9 a.m.
I feel like I've been carrying the load here with the last two of them. The 2013 Twins.
So this is load management for you.
Oh,
This is a load
2013 Twins
management.
you did. Yeah, I was going to say, because
And the
we
Wolves
both
last
helped on
week,
the
too.
Vikings one.
Yep.
The Wolves one was all you.
All right, Judd.
That was a solo thing.
This is a Judd Zolgadian special. You ready?
All right.
Here we go.
What I got?
The 1988-89 Minnesota North Stars.
All right. Good talk.
All right, yeah. Phil remembers this fondly, looking back on his years. So, Judd, this team did make the playoffs. Mm-hmm. How many wins did they finish with, and who did they lose to in the postseason this year?
Wow.
88, 89 North Stars. All right. So they.
Mike Madonna.
Yeah. Okay, that's it. That's the key.
I win.
They won, let's see, they played 80 games back then. They finished with. Hold on a second.
Oh, yeah, talk amongst yourselves.
Now,
Sounds
okay, real quick,
99.
while Judd thinks here out loud, this is the era of the NHL where instead of just having normally named conferences and divisions, right?
It was great.
Instead of having
Norris
Eastern
Division.
Conference, Western
It was the
Conference,
Norris Division.
and then what were the conferences? It was like Wales.
Campbell, and the Clarence Campbell Conference, which is what the North Stars were in, and the Prince of Wales.
So this is like when the Big Ten had leaders
Game
and
of
legends
Thrones.
instead of
No,
East and
no.
West.
This was
It's exactly like that.
That was BS because that was made up. This was a heritage that had been passed down. The Norris Division, there was the Norris, the Smythe, the Adams, and the Patrick. It was
so
fantastic.
confusing.
Well, I don't need you not to be
sounds
confused.
like houses in Game of Thrones, but yeah, no.
You know what?
it's
I don't care about both of you. This is my ballot.
Anyway,
Okay.
so yeah, this is your Ballard.
I want to know that like this year is like right smack dab when Judd would have been like drinking for the first time, late 80s. Like
Yep.
this is probably a foggy era for Judd Zolgad, even though
So
he
this
was
is a year before I
oftentimes at these
interned in
games.
PR for him because I interned in PR for him in 89, 90. So that this is a year before that, and this was coming off a terrible season. I believe this was the first. Was this the first year? So Brooks got fired after 1 year. I believe this was the first year of Pierre Paget. I'm going to say so. Yes, they did make the playoffs. I'm going to say they won.
There were ties now. There were ties back then.
I know. That's what I'm exactly right.
A lot of
Exactly right.
ties.
I'm going to say they won 33 games.
Another stab.
No, they had about.
So it was an 82-game schedule?
80. I think it was 80 games at the time. And
so you're saying they would have gone like 33 and 14
Something.
or whatever. The
Yeah,
math
okay.
is, right?
Am I close or not? Not even close.
You're close. Yeah.
Because it's probably more wins than
Can
that.
I guess?
And
Yeah.
sure.
38.
Way off.
And I believe they had. So I believe they had about. That team probably had, let's say, 73, 74 points.
I will say this team finished with 16 ties. That's an
Oh.
asinine amount of ties.
Oh, that's why. Oh, okay, that's why.
So-
then. So let's say
I
they had
should've
70.
prefaced that.
So they had, let's say, 72 points, and they had 16 ties. So they don't know. So they didn't get to 32 wins. Then they probably had fewer than that.
This is a Beautiful Mind sequel happening right now, live
20
on Mackey and Judd.
28 wins.
All right, what?
27. 27.
Oh wait! No, you
I love,
got
how
to give me that.
I love how you buzz him for that.
You didn't nail it. We've been nailing it the last few weeks. I thought I had to nail it. You're gonna crap on me for that after you
88,
guys
89,
nailed
28,
it?
20.
If you would have said 49 last week, I would have buzzed you.
Well, I think we need some.
I thought it was within
when
three.
when you're asking us to nail like a specific
Okay.
sort of needle in a haystack number,
I think we gotta
there
be
should
within
there should be a
three.
Okay.
range.
That-
Now we
that
in
should be
fairness, we did
practice.
guess incorrectly 3 times before the 28. So there is
Correct.
that.
Yeah. Well, no,
Correct.
but Phil threw in the guess, and you said he doesn't count, so I guessed 3 times,
Oh,
and my
now
third
I
one
don't
was
count.
right.
Yeah, I carry this segment for the last 2 weeks, and now I don't count.
Hey, I was close, okay?
Judd, who did they lose to in the postseason that year?
88, 89 North Stars lost to, North Division, so this is a couple years before they make the Stanley Cup Finals.
Did they have to play a team in their division in the first round?
Yes, yes, it was 1-4-2-3.
Kind of like what they do now, actually. Which
And
they did this season.
Yes, which is fine. They lost, so they were in the division with. I'm just talking out loud here, okay?
absolutely, yeah.
They were in a division with Detroit.
And 2 teams, or
Yeah. Hey, look, we said that before, okay? I mean, that's fine. Don't be a little. The Detroit, Chicago, St. Louis. I'm going to say they lost to the Blues.
Oh,
lost to the Blues in 5.
Judley McJudlerson coming in hot here. It's pretty good.
All right, what else you got?
All right,
for
Judd,
me?
who led the 88-89 North Stars in points that season?
88. So that was Bellows was there, Broughton was there, Cicerelli was there. My guess is Dino led them in goals, but not points.
Is this pre-Madonna? Madonna was drafted in 88.
Yeah,
or
but
89.
he was drafted. So he was drafted for. He was drafted off the team that was last the year before, but actually had a contract dispute, and I believe it went back to Prince Albert for basically the entirety of this season, and then debuted after.
Okay.
So like he was actually not in what would have been his rookie year. He didn't. I don't think he played for him really. So anyway, I'm gonna say Neil Broughton. Hold on. Because there's not that many guesses here.
I wish I could help. I legitimately would only mess this up. by
Brian
speaking.
Bellows. Okay, I got one more guess.
Mike Madonna? How sure are you on the timing of his career here?
I think 89, 90 was more of his first year. Was it Dino? Dino Cicerelli.
Dave Gagne.
Oh, damn.
24-year-old Dave Gagne
That's
from
right.
the Rangers.
Would have been a bust.
Wow.
Dang
Came to
it.
the North Stars,
I should've
bounced
got that.
around 84 points. Excuse me, 78 points.
Oh, I should have
What
gotten
happened to
that
him?
one.
He's 24 years old and put up
Yeah.
that. So
He had been a draft pick of the Rangers, and he was a bust.
Yeah, he
and
was really
the
looking
North,
at his stats.
the North Stars got him, and he was. I should have gotten that
Yeah.
one. Damn it!
He was like an unbelievable player for the North Stars, and then I don't know how.
He started
like
off
you're-
as
I
like
mean-
a penalty killer.
you're trying to remember these years in the foggy days of your early 20s.
But I went to a
bunch.
bunch of these games. I should have gotten that one because
It's gonna keep him up tonight.
I think this was the year that they put together, and I believe it started as a fourth line. It was Gaetan Duchesne, who is dead now. I think he died a few years back. Dave Gagne and Stuart Gavin. And it was like a checking line, and they were really good at that. And then Gagne started to score goals and like took off. So I should have gotten that one.
All right, Judd. The two main goalies they had like 5 goalies make an appearance, but I'm not gonna make you do that. But the two main goalies that year were who?
We're gonna give you some inspiration here.
Don Beaupre? Beaupre wasn't one of them?
He played a couple starts, but he was not one of the two main goalies. Like he had like 3 starts that year.
Okay.
Is this pre-John Casey?
This is right around John Casey. That's a good guess. John Casey?
John Casey?
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
There you go.
The Hockey Whisperer.
The Hockey
coming
Whisperer
in.
came in. 88, 89. Okay, so I'm just thinking out loud again here. This was around the time of Brian Hayward, but I don't think he's one of them. This is also around the time of Kerry Taco, who might be an answer. If Beaupre wasn't one, John Casey. All right, Kerry Taco.
Good job, Judd.
There it is.
All right.
Look at this
All
guy.
right.
55 games for Casey, 32 for Taco.
Wow. And then the 5 were Beaupre. Who else?
Beaupre and Jarmo Milas.
Milas. Yeah. I would. I forgot all about him.
That's a spelling of a name.
Yeah.
And actually, it was just those 2. Excuse me. So it was those 4. It was those 4.
Okay. Did Beaupre get hurt that year? He must have been.
Yeah,
hurt
he only
or
played
something.
one game. He literally played one game.
Interesting.
Actually lost, but played well.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Judd, the 3 captains that year for the Minnesota North Stars.
Oh God. I mean,
Dino had to have been one, right?
I was illegally consuming alcohol at this
will
point,
say
so this is difficult.
None of the names that have been listed are these 3 names.
Nobody listed so far. Like nobody even bandied.
But I've guessed them in other guesses, correct?
Maybe, but yes, but none of the answers.
So Dave Gagne, was not because he had just joined the team. Not Mike Modano, Phil. Okay, hold on. I got. Okay, so we're talking a captain and 2 alternates, right?
I believe so. Yeah, it's just like on the hockey reference page, it just says captains 3. So I assume it meant the captain.
Yeah,
there's got to be like a veteran, leader guy.
Okay, I don't think he was retired yet. I think he might have retired during the course of this year, but he might show up in this. Craig Hartsburg. That's a guess.
Is that a guess?
Yes.
And I can't tell like who was the captain, who were the 2 alternates, but I do have these 3. It just says 3 names.
You know what?
It just says 3 names.
Broughton. Broughton wasn't a captain?
No.
Or an alternate?
No.
Boy, Declan just dominating right now.
Yeah, he is.
I'm really disappointed.
Okay.
I don't know my North Stars lineage.
I mean, this is like 32
something.
years ago. This is a long time.
But still, this is Judd's wheelhouse. Like I was expecting a better performance. I'm sorry.
Oh no,
And
my
this
wheelhouse is
random season recall.
85 or so, dude. Once I started to drink, a lot of things become.
Well, 4 weeks from now, we'll try that out again.
Okay, right, Ben Simmons. All right.
Yeah. I love
Listen, my wheelhouse is layups. Okay, I'm not here to shoot free throws.
Okay, Mark Tenorti.
No, dude.
I don't remember then.
Now Judd's just naming a random guy. Like that could have just been a random.
No, he was
guy.
a defenseman on that team, I think. Okay, that's three wrong, so I'm done.
Curtis Foster.
Curtis Foster.
Yeah, Curtis Foster. Kurt Giles.
Okay.
And is it Bob Roos?
Bob Rouse.
Bob Rouse.
I never would have gotten those.
Never would have gotten those. Okay.
Never, not in 1,000 years. And I can't believe that Broughton didn't get an A back then. That's a mistake. I should go talk to Pierre Paget. Yeah,
that's why they got bounced early.
Lots of tension.
In the room. Yeah,
lots of tension.
Oof, boy, yeah.
All right,
random season recall.
There it is. All right, wow,
Yep.
that is a bloodbath right there. A random season recall. Declan.
Well, hold on a second.
reclaiming.
I did okay for a while there.
You got the
last
2 goalies, and you got the playoff team, I guess. Yeah,
I got the playoff team.
You were-
No, I was very close on.
Listen,
I'm not gonna.
We're
I'm
a
not
team
gonna
here,
apologize
okay? All right,
for my.
We got a couple correct answers.
I'm not
together
apologizing.
as a team.
I am, just to be clear, I am not apologizing on my wins thing.
I'll have you know
I was one off by the
I
end.
mentioned Mike
Okay.
Modano and John Casey, and John Casey was
And you
one
did
of the correct
and you
answers,
did mention
okay?
John Casey.
All right.
That's right. I mean, you mentioned Modano for basically every response. So
Not goalie.
I'm not going to give you Mike Modano, but John Casey was a solid one. And the fact I got Kerry Taco, it's a long time ago, and I got to be honest. I mean, that was the start of a pretty rough period when it came to the beer. Okay.
What was your main beverage back then? What was the main beer you were sipping on?
Oh, I didn't care.
I did not care.
Oh,
Okay.
are you kidding? At 18,
We,
I once went and bought illegally at a liquor store, and my friend and because I looked the part, and they didn't ID, and I once went in, and as I was going into the liquor store, my friend said, "Get something exotic," and I came out with a thing of Schlitz.
oh my God.
Because I was young and dumb. I thought the thing of Schlitz was exotic.
What did they mean by exotic? What were they
I don't
expecting
know
you to
exactly. Now, you know, when you're 18, it just sounds good, I think.
Sure.
Or 19.
Something
It just
exotic.
sounded good to say.
Keystone. Yeah, it's
But I
crazy.
will say, probably like Coors, right, at the time?
Oh, I love
like
a good
Coors was a
banquet.
big deal.
Coors Banquet's delicious. I still mess with the Coors
Well,
Banquet.
and don't forget, too, at one time, Coors was, Colorado, I believe.
Still is.
No, but it wasn't here.
Oh, I see.
It wasn't here. And when it came here, it was a big deal. It's
really
like
love-
all Coors is in the cities.
I love the Coors Light, like their whole advertising
Oh,
campaign from like 5
it
or
is
10 years ago.
phenomenal.
Well, no, the one from 5 or 10 years ago was
Oh.
it's the coldest beer on the market. Like the can turns blue in this spot to show you how cold it is. It's like, is it the coldest beer? I mean, wouldn't that be up to the freezer, for the fridge that's in it? I don't
Oh, that's right. The blue can.
know. So anyhow, that's a
Anywho.
random season recall here on
I'm
Mackey and
disappointed in
Judd.
myself. I'm not going to lie.
We'll get you some Judd can redeem himself tomorrow. Write that down, predictions. So get him ready in the accountability session. We'll see how big of a bloodbath it is. Thanks for hanging out with us. Minnesota Sports Daily Entertainment, and we want titles, damn it. We'll see you guys tomorrow.